Hey guys, welcome back to Get Into It with Jason Hook, with your host, me, Jason Hook. What we're listening to, it might not sound that great, but it's Waste Management Street Beefs 3 tape. So these are two live sets. One's from 2012 and 2010. Both in Sneaky D's in Toronto in 2012, and Temple Sound and Stage in Boston on 2010. And then there's some covers. They fill it in. It says right here, lists all the songs, extra tracks by bands we like. So who knows what we're gonna hear? I've actually never listened to this tape. I've had it for like a couple years. But I'm gonna jam some Waste Management because you'll find out in the next video. USA Edition 10 out of 100. But yeah, it's Waste Management. Live Street Brief Volume 3. It's just two live sets, and then I think they threw a bunch of stuff on it for fun. And these must be the two flyers for the show. Shit, Drop Dead. These are cool shows. I don't know why I didn't go to this one with Drop Dead. I don't know. Who knows? 8 years ago. Alright, so this video is going to be a massive mix of bizarre shit. It's just odds and ends. That I just pulled out of the pile. Some of these I bought literally probably 4 months ago and I just never listened to. So let's get started with what we got. First thing I wanted to show is this Teenage Bottlerocket record, Tales from Wyoming. This is on Rise, right? Yeah, this is on Rise Records. This is what I like to call leather jacket pop punk. I just coined the phrase. It's pop punk, but it's not like the NoFXy, super syrupy stuff. It's more like the the Queers, the Screeching Weasel, pop punk, Ramones, pop punk. It's right here. Lyric sheet. It's on color vinyl. Yeah, I think it's clear or beer or whatever. I said the label's pretty easy. So these guys are from Wyoming. The drummer actually passed away unexpectedly a few years ago. I wrote it down. Or did I not write it down? He did, yeah, he passed away a few years ago. His brothers actually are in the band as well. So I grabbed this at Newbury Comics. It was for sale, and then they were doing a sale. So this is the kind of band I've been interested in, but I think I showed one of their records before, but I just don't really own a lot by them. And if I can get it for, these are $9.99, and then I think they were 20% off or 25% off. So I got it for like $8, $7 and change or whatever. So I definitely picked it up, but like I said, it's pop punk, but leather jacket pop punk. This is really cool shit. I believe this was the last record with this might have been the last record, or no. I'm completely all over the place here. No, it's not. Is it? Let's take a minute. Let's settle this bullshit. It's goddamn bullshit. It is. So this was the last record with Brandon Carlisle, who passed away. I don't know if he passed away before this came out or right as it came out. I don't remember. Anyone who knows anything about this band, feel free to chime in and tell me I'm wrong or I'm a dork or whatever. But yeah, song title. They got songs about the places they like to eat and hanging out, and this fucking insert just does not want to go back in. Oh, it's humid. It's Massachusetts humid. It's weird. It's cold and then it's sticky. I know I'm probably just sound like I'm fucking whining. It sucks. I'm sweating. But that's Teenage Bottlerocket, Tales from Wyoming. And the cool thing is they usually have the same general cover art with the skull and cross rockets. So next is another one I bought at the same exact time, so I probably look like a Teenage Bottlerocket super fan. But this is Stealing the Covers, and this was the first record with the new drummer after the drummer passed away. I believe this came out in 2017. Yeah, I wrote that. It's 2017. This is actually a covers record, but what they did that was pretty cool was they didn't do regular run-of-the-mill covers. They did covers of bands that were from Wyoming or bands they did tours with. So it's like Varsity Weirdos, Hollywood Blondes, Juke, the Scutches, Artemis Maximus, Head, Sprocket Nova, the Gullables, the Blendors, the Mugwumps, the 20 Belows, the Four Eyes, Onion Flavored Rings, and the Punchlines. And it's cool because what they do is they give a little story about why they picked the song. And a lot of these are bands that they might have played with on tour or were local to them in Wyoming that might have never left. It's a really cool thing. I've heard of the Onion Flavored Rings. That's the only band I've heard of on here. And there's a little tribute here to the drummer who passed. You know, and here you just got like, you know, photos over the years and stuff. This is on Fat Records. Both of these records are relatively easy to find. I mean, you guys shouldn't have to kill yourselves. Any Discharge should have them. Any like chain record store should have them. I bet you can probably get these things at like an FYE or something too, just because it's, you know, Fat Records and Rise have distribution. But this is black vinyl. I think it's like 2 skulls and cross rockets, 1 skull and cross rockets for the A side. But this is cool shit. It's definitely interesting, and even get. I actually went in and looked into some of the other bands. Some of them have nothing. It's very hard to find stuff. Some of them have relatively easy to find jams. But yeah, so that's Teenage Bottlerocket stealing the covers again. The skull and cross rockets. And these guys have tons of stuff out. It's all real. Maybe the early stuff might be harder, but the later stuff, the LPs are easy to grab. Next, I have kind of like a secret Jason jam a little bit. This is the Gaslight Anthem, the 59 Sound Sessions. It's the 10-year anniversary of the 59 Sound, which is a record I actually dug a lot when it came out. It's kind of not in the same vein of a lot of what I listen to, but my brother Anthony dug it. We both kind of listened to it at the same time without telling each other. Then like he asked me if I heard it, and we realized we both dug it. So here's the answer. You got some live shots here. Got a, you know, band shot, the information. So what this is that this is actually just alternative versions. It's black vinyl, so what label is this on? I think it's on a pretty well-known label. Just black vinyl, black labels. So what is this? It's just like demo or alternative versions of songs that actually ended up on the 59 Sound, which is a great record. I mean, you guys should check it out if you dig like punk, but like kind of like a Bruce Springsteen-y, I don't want to say folksy, kind of like 50s, like storytelling type stuff. Side One Dummy. This is on Side One Dummy. But so I think what's on here is there's B-sides and there's 3 songs. There's 3 songs that weren't on the record on here. But if you ever heard the 59 Sound, this is kind of like, don't listen to this. Listen to the 59 Sound first, and if you dig it, then check out the 59 Sound Sessions. Again, this was on sale. They had a sale. We have a place called Newbury Comics here. It's a chain, and they'll do like random flash sales where like I'm just in a mall and I'll look and it'll be like, oh, 25% off all vinyl, or buy 2 get 1 free. And I'll just I pop in like once a month. I mean, there's not a lot of rare stuff, but this is the kind of stuff that I grab when I'm at Newbury Comics, especially if they're doing a sale. It's just stuff that I kind of wanted to get into, but I don't want to spend money on. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, if I ever have to spend money, I'd rather spend the least amount as I can. Fell. All right. Next we have something I picked up from Cheapo Records in Cambridge. And this is Judas Priest, Hero Hero. This is a double LP. Came out in 1981. Gatefold. So, I think it's just black vinyl. Yeah, it's just regular black vinyl. I'll pull one out. Regular black vinyl. It's on the Gull label. So what this is, the interesting thing about this is similar to that Black Sabbath record which I have. This came out after, you know, Judas Priest had blown up into popularity by a record label that kind of didn't tell Judas Priest they were doing it. So basically what this is all of Rock-a-Rolla, the first, which Gull Records had the rights to. It's 6 songs from Sad Winds of Destiny and a different version of Diamonds and Rust. And the rock and roller songs are remastered. And what happened is Gull Records put this out without the band's permission, really, because they were blowing up in popularity to sell records. And maybe, you know, it's different versions. Maybe people want to go after and buy their dead stock. But, you know, it's classic Judas Priest. It's classic new wave of British heavy metal. I definitely recommend checking this out. I definitely, you know, if you already have Rock and Roller and Sad Winds of Destiny, I mean, you don't need it. If you're a completist, yeah. And I got another Cheapo Records vibe. Like I said, this is a bizarre mix, you know, Gaslight Anthem, Judas Priest, Teenage Bottlerocket. It's a, you know, Waste Management. It's a bizarre mix of bizarre. So speaking on that, we're going to keep going here. There's another Judas Priest Ram It Down. So this came out in 1988 on Columbia. This was drummer Dave Holland's last record. He's a total piece of shit, and he's dead, which is good. You guys can look that up for why I would say that. This is also the last record for Tom Allom, I think I'm saying his name right, and he just came back and did Firepower. He was like the producer. This was universally hammered. I love the song Ram It Down. I think it's cool as fuck. The rest of the record, I can take or leave. It's a Johnny B. Good cover, which is alright. But the cool thing about this one was, whoever pre-owned this, because this is the original press, I looked up all the matrices, was a super collector, because they put them in these sleeves. And this record you can get, because no one gives a shit about Ram It Down. But they put it in these dust sleeves, and like, literally they kept the hype sticker on it. And the insert is like pristine for like, you know, this is like 30 years old now, right? Yeah, it's 2018. Fuck, yeah, it's old. Damn. It's like 30 years old now. But, yeah, Ram It Down, you guys know. I always, my friends and I have an inside joke going where, you know, people were surprised when Rob Halford came out as gay, and it's like, you know, if you guys listen to Ram It Down and Turbo Lover, I mean, it wasn't really surprising. And I know I'm not going to get political with you guys, but I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care about that stuff, but I just kind of think it's funny. Just to, you know, double entendre, the second going back and looking back. Also, you know, wearing full leather get-ups. But anyways, yeah, this is Judas Priest's Ram It Down. Cool, still, it's got the shrink. It's still got the hype sticker. See Judas Priest live as they ram it down across America this summer. The guitar-driven new release from Judas Priest. Pick it up, put it down, put it on, ram it down. So that's cool. I had to grab this because it's in such nice condition. It was $10. But that's Ram It Down. Again, now we're going to go even more on the bizarre... Sorry, guys. We're going to go even on the bizarre smorgasbord. This is a global threat. Sorry, rooftops. Where the sun never sets. This was a punk band from Boston. Well, Maine, Boston. I think members, you know, either lived in Boston or split time between Boston and Maine. A ton of members. Used to have two singers. This is with one singer. This actually originally came out in 2006 on BYO. This is the 2018 repress on Smash Art. 303 of 500. My good pal Rufio, Rufio the Punk, Mike, whatever else you want to call him, repress this. It's very straightforward, the repress here. I don't think it was ever on vinyl. I could be wrong. But it's just a record. There's no insert or anything. Just black vinyl. With a simple label. So this band started off as a street punk band, which was great. This is kind of later on. It's almost like they started listening to a ton of Blast. And I'm not saying this as like a dick move. It's a lot of Black Flag and Blast influence. This still has a street punk sound. It's a little bit more darker and heavier than the previous records. I believe this was the last LP they ever put out. I definitely recommend that you guys... It's Chunks. I definitely recommend that you guys check this out if you're into Black Flag or Blast or street punk or punk in general from the early 2Ks, late 90s into the early 2Ks. I can't recommend this enough. Mike gave this to me, so thanks, Brew. I don't know if he watches my videos, but thanks, dude. I really appreciate it. I really wanted one of these. But I saw these guys so many times. I think this is cool too, like your logo here. How many songs are in this? 17-song banger. Definitely check it out. But that's a global threat where the sun never sets. Listen to everything they ever did. It's definitely a fun thing to listen from the beginning. You know, the first two, like Mark from the Unseen was in this band, and they had a two-singer approach, which was straight sloppy street punk. And then to this, where it's still punk, but it's a little bit more put together than the early stuff. Thanks, Mike. Check out Life as Posers if you haven't yet. Next, what I got here is I have a Discharge picture disc. This is Never Again. This originally came out in 1984. There's literally no way that this is from 1984. This is a repress. Originally released in 1984, this album is essentially a best of. Features 17 of the band's most furious tracks from their peak period, 80 to 84. Contains rarities and singles not released on any other Discharge LP. This is on Earmark. I'm going to take a wild guess that this might be early 2000s. Question in Children. Answer in Children. So for you guys don't know, Discharge is basically they started the DB movement in the early 80s. They've influenced every metal band or punk band or hardcore band that you like, but you just might have never listened to them. Or, I mean, it's fucking foolish if you haven't, because it's Discharge. But what this is the first LP, Hear Nothing, See Nothing, Say Nothing, and then songs from the EP, Warning Her Majesty's Government Can Seriously Damage Your Health. The LP came out in 82 and the EP came out in 83. And they basically just... Everything is remixed for the most part on here. What we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, these are all 10 of the songs are remixed. Everything's like kind of taken from another record. It's just a little fucking novelty thing. It sounds better. It sounds good for a picture disc, but you know, for the most part, picture disc sounds like shit. This is more of just being, I wanted to be a super collector and own it. But yeah, this Discharge, Never Again. If you haven't heard this, you need to hear it, especially if you're into punk and hardcore. It's a no-brainer. And this is you got 2 records in one, and it's cheap. What was this? $20. This was also bought at Cheapo. Take a little swig of beverage here. Again, to go on the bipolar swing here, we have the new Mighty Mighty Bosstones record. While we're at it, I've always been a Bosstones fan. It's out on Big Rig. It's a double LP. There's 1,000 copies of this one. This came out in 2018. I think it's like 2 different colors. You know, you got your lyrics in here. Yeah, this is kind of like a brownish red. It's not really a great color. I guess there's a download card in here that I'm currently. I don't you know what. I actually disconnected my computer that had like my iTunes on it, so I don't download anything. I have all these download cards. Maybe I'll do like give them away in some sort of giveaway. Just a little bit of like literally I haven't used one in years. Here's the other one. It's kind of like an orange. So this is the Bosstones, ska, Boston ska. This record isn't their greatest stuff. I mean, if you really ask me, ska, Core, The Devil and More Noise and Other Disturbances. The early stuff is like where my bread and butter is. But I'll still buy their records. Some songs here, it seems to kind of lag a little bit in my opinion. I really love Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I really love Walk Like a Ghost. Here We Are is a good tune. In honor of Hugo's wife. I mean, if you guys don't know the Bosstones, you should. I know some people are gonna be like, "Scott, you shouldn't." It's good stuff. I've always loved this band. The early stuff is way more punk and hardcore influence from just horns. They cover Slapshot and SSD. Come on, guys. But this is while we're at it, the newest Bosstones record. Put a lot of effort in the layout too. Next we have a band I've talked about before. This is Off With Their Heads. This is Hospitals. This is on Recess Records. So what they did here, I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. This is the sorry about that. This is the filling out the rest. They fill the tape. They had half a tape, so I don't know what we're gonna hear, how loud it's gonna be. But again, this is Off With Their Heads. This is Hospitals. This is the 10-year anniversary of the record. This came out in 2016, so the original came out in 2006, 26. So this came with a flexi that's just got an acoustic version of Theme Song, which is one of the songs on here. The singer of this band owns a screen print company, so they hand screened all these covers. So it's cool. This is all hand screened. It has a little rundown right here, just about about where they were in their lives when this record came out, who was in the band at the time. Thanks for anyone who stuck with us all these years. I hope it helps you as much as it helped me. This is a heavy record. It's it's punk. Again, it's not street punk. It's not like corny pop punk. It's just straightforward punk. It's heavy though, like heavy content on here. Some white vinyl. I actually ordered this from Interpunk. So I was randomly scrolling through and they had it. It's actually 2 years old. It took forever to come. I thought it was never going to come. But this is one of my personal favorite records of all time. It's a lot of people don't believe me. Also, Weezer Pinkerton's there too. It's weird. Well, I'll get into that in another thing. It's a very bizarre mix. But they were going through some shit when they wrote this record. There's songs in here about drug abuse, breakups, people dying. It's not done in an emo way. It's just there's a lot of anger. It's straightforward 3-chord punk. I love all this stuff. I talked about this band before, but this is probably one of their, like my personal opinion, their best record. So this is Off Their Heads, Hospitals. Tim Velke, if you see this, I know you dig this band. You need this. Next, Evan Vincent sold me onto this. I know you guys saw what it is, but we'll see where this goes. So I know I'm gonna get heat for this, and I don't really give a shit. But this is Misfits, Famous Monsters. I love this record. This is Graves era Misfits. This just came out on vinyl. I had to order from the UK. I think it's like wicked. I think it was $35 after with shipping. But it's never been on vinyl before. It came out in 1999. This lineup broke up, I think, in early 2000, late 2000, early 2001. So maybe a year, a little bit over a year after this actually came out, they broke up. But it's on green vinyl. And it's on Roadrunner, but I think it's Roadrunner UK. Or it was on Music on Vinyl. It was definitely from the UK. And it comes with, like, you know, this lyric sheet. They said it's a poster, but it's a lyric sheet. Got me on that one, guys. It's got the you know, the painting that was on the cover. I know there's people cringing right now. It comes with this little sticker pack. So the packaging's great, the record's great, it sounds great. So this was, you know, Misfits without Danzig. I think American Psycho came out a year or two before this did. I know that a lot of people, this is like the jumping off point for the Misfits for them. I will stand by this record. I don't know if it was the time it came out, 99, I was like 16, 17 years old. I know I missed American Psycho. I don't know why. So this was like the first Misfits record that ever came out, you know, that I acknowledge. So, you know, it holds a spot for me. It says right here, limited edition of 2,500 color copies, individually numbered, includes 4-page insert and exclusive stickers, 180-gram audiophile vinyl, got a Roadrunner record sticker. It is numbered. Oh yeah, it's stamped right here. I got 2,492. So again, this is Michael Graves and Dr. Chud. They both quit shortly after this. I want to say it was 2000. I want to say less than a year. This was the second Graves record. When he quit, is it Graves? I'm messing up here. Doyle or Graves took over. Doyle took over singing, and it was just, you know, a real downtime for the Misfits until, you know, now they're back. But this is Misfits' Famous Monsters. I love this record. You know, I wanted to play it, but I know I'd get a copyright strike. But, you know, like, Kong at the Gates of Forbidden Zone. I'm gonna listen to this after I'm done. But this record rules. Fuck you. I don't care if you don't like it. Eat shit. Nice. I don't know what's gonna play, so it's kind of. So next I got this is a little bit again out of the ordinary. This is a fucking, like I said, it's a weird mix of tunes I'm showing you. This is a band called Limsbin. It's on black vinyl. I saw them like a couple months ago down in New Bedford, Mass. And they had these without covers, and they were selling them for cheap just to get rid of them. I think it was like the rest of the press. Got a pin too, but I don't know where I put it. But Limsbin is a one-man kind of noise project band. Very loud, very noisy. This is called One Happy World, and it's on Torn Light Records. There's 50 songs on here to get the gist of what it is. It's just a man and some electronic machines. Kind of, it's weird. It's like, I want to say it's like DB grind. I mean, grind is easy to say. Maybe power violence over just electronic, just blast beats in the background. It's good shit. It's very, very interesting. Very, very bizarre and odd. And I don't mean that in a bad way, dude. I'm going to tag him in this. I don't mean it in a bad way. It's very... I guess this is the kind of shit, like, I'm not heavily into it, just because I don't know a lot about it, but this is the kind of stuff I'll play at work, just to annoy people I work with, because they will not understand what's going on. But that's Limsbin, and the name of the record's One Happy World. I'll put a link below. You guys can hear what it sounds like, and I'll tag them, so if you want to add anything, feel free to add it, dude. That's really cool. It's like someone's, I don't know if you can make it out. Again, so last year I have a 10-inch. This is Indecision, number 100, Lost Artifacts. So this is just, I believe there's only there's only 5 bands on this. It's just 5 bands that came out that put records on Indecision, which was a pretty prolific label. I think they still exist in the late 90s, early 2000s. But they're just songs that were recorded for Indecision releases that were never released. So you got Death by Stereo, Faded Gray, Over My Dead Body, Count Me Out, and Throwdown on here. The Over My Dead Body and Count Me Out songs are great. The Throwdown song's kind of corny. This is another Newbury Comics buy. I think this thing's everywhere. It's Indecision. They didn't cut corners. But yeah, it's Indecision 100, and it's just these 5 bands with just songs they never released. They were Indecision bands. And the thing that's cool is on the insert, it's got the lyrics, who's in the band, when it was recorded, and there's a little, like, little blurb from someone in the band. When we finished, this is the Over My Dead Body. When we finished recording Sink or Swim, we got together as a band and listened back to everything we had recorded to figure out a track listing. Glass Houses just didn't seem to fit anywhere. We aimed for a nice balance of different musical vibes, lyrical themes in the songs. Jesus, how pretentious does that sound? Especially since 90% of our songs are about straight edge anyway. We all still are in case you're checking up. Anyway, the song just doesn't seem to find its place on the record. It was decided that we'd save it for a comp track or split 7-inch. However, after the record was done and our European tour booked, we decided we'd call it a day at the end of the year. We were proud of the LP and what we had all accomplished, but we just didn't want to be one of those bands that overstayed their welcome. So like stuff like that for every band, just explaining what the song is. They're a cool little thing. Definitely check it out. $6. And like I said, it was this Newbury Comics. It was $6 probably with 20-25% off, so $4. Next I have something from Inclusion Records that I got like almost 6 months ago. But this is the Queers and Chris Barrows brand, split 7-inch. This was actually a record store day release. I wrote down Chris Barrows. It's from the Pink Lincolns. It's just black vinyl. This is on Rad Girlfriend Records. It was just something they churned out for record store day. The Queers sound like the Queers. Chris Barrows sounds like Chris Barrows. It's exactly what you think it's going to sound like. A little bit pricey, but it's record store day. But this is from Inclusion, a cool record store in Norwell. I'm going to tag them in this too. But that's, just a record store day rando split. Be Your Heart On, Everything's Okay by the Queers, and Lime Green and Servitude by Chris Barrows Band. A few Queers completists. Next I have 2 things that are kind of from the same thing. So there's a zine around here that's been around forever. I just want to say what's up, shout out to Al Quint. He probably, I don't know if he watches these, but he did a zine called Suburban Voice, and they used to come with 45s. So the one I have here, this is one I ran, I lost, I didn't lose it, I know it's somewhere in my mess, but I was able to buy this for $1 a couple months ago, so I just bought it. So this is the Trouble and Fit for Abuse, and the Pinkerton Thugs. I don't know what issue this came with. It's 1998. Sometime it might say on here. Yeah, Suburban Voice 19. I'm not sure what issue. I'm sure someone can clear that up for me. But this is actually the last recorded Trouble song that's since been released on a 7-inch. But at the time, this was the only way you can get it. Fit for Abuse is Fit for Abuse. I've talked about them. And the Pinkerton Thugs play White Man and Hammersmith Palace. I always say that wrong. But it's just a cool little thing that came in the zine. I know I have this. I don't know where the fuck it is. So if I got a chance to buy it for $1, I bought it. But it's at Suburban Voice. These are just 45s. And then from the same person, I think this was $5. So this is actually just a collection of 7-inches from different issues. That's actually, why am I spacing? I hate myself so much for spacing on this. It says on the inside. But, these are just a collection of leftover it's Sheer Terror. Because they're right here. Sheer Terror, Crawl Puppy. Verbal Assault, Shattered Silence, and Daltonic. Haywire, and Left Insane. One I'm pulling out of the sleeve. Sinkhole, Horace Pinker, The Bruisers, and Shattered Silence again, which was Al's band. American Standard, Crucial Youth. So these were actually leftover 45s from zines he put out. These aren't original. He's put out different versions of this where it might be, I think he explains it in here. It's just very not thrown together in a bad way, just very his music. Listen to it. But he explains right here, these records came with previous issues of Suburban Voice as noted, but the zines are now sold out. This is the third packaging of these records, which was previously called the Suburban Voice Cheapy 7-inch collection. The first included the records from 28, 29, 30, and 32. I sold out of the record from issue 32, Kingpin 411 Slapper Reality, and replaced it with the record from 33, 34 for the second version. Now I've sold out of issue 36, but have a surplus of 7 inches, so that's been added to the set, but the price remains the same. A mixed bag to be sure, but some gems to be found. I hope you like it, Al. So, these were left over. Again, I got a chance to buy it cheap secondhand. If you guys ever have a chance to read Suburban Voice, you should definitely read it. It's an awesome zine. It hasn't been out in a long time. You can find them. Get the 7 inches. My tape player is being an ass, so I gotta go. But that's the Suburban Voice 7-inch collection. And I'll be back sooner than later. I've been busy, but I got a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of records, so... Thanks for watching.